How long have you been playing music?
I've been playing music. Well, I started on drums. So I learned drums. I started playing drums in like 6th grade, started doing drum set in 7th grade. I picked up the guitar my junior year of high school. I started playing guitar, the melodies, and I started playing bass junior, senior year of high school type area of time. My artist name is Tommy Ponder, TonnmyPonder, and my EP name is Footprint Attempts EP, because it was kind of my first attempt to leave a footprint in the music industry and on the world. So I have a Nashville Telecaster, which I play. I have an acoustic guitar, just kind of one my dad played when he was younger. I own it now. And I play a Squier jazz bass. And I have MIDI keyboards, which I use to do piano stuff, synthesizer stuff, and everything in between, beat pad stuff. So that's kind of the equipment I use to make music. I have a bunch of inspirations. One of the biggest musical inspirations would either be Steve Jordan or Stuart Copeland. They're both drummers. Steve Jordan is one of the baddest drummers. Like he has the groove like no other. He's played for people like the Rolling Stones and John Mayer and many other people, and he's just absolutely amazing with what he does. And then there's Stuart Copeland, who's a totally different kind of drummer, but he drummed for the Police back in the late 70s and early 80s. And his playing style was really revolutionary in my eyes, and it kind of changed my life, the way I view the drum set and play the drum set. Bob Dylan's one of my favorite musicians. He's been super influential in my life. I have him tattooed on my thigh. This is called Shakey Graves, and the horse he rode in on. This is one of my favorite artists, Shakey Graves, and this is a compilation of his 2 earliest EPs on one album. I bought this. This is one of the first records I bought when I was first getting into collecting records. Changed my life. It's super low quality. The recordings sound like they were made at home, which is really cool because I make my own music at home. People like John Mayer, the way that he plays guitar and sings and writes songs really influenced me. This is Ram by Paul McCartney, which was known to be one of the first like indie records. And I love this album. It changed my life as well. Just the way he sounds ahead of his time, and he uses sounds and uses ukuleles, and him and his wife singing together. I just love the whole thing. It just sounds homemade. It sounds unique, and one of my favorites. So those are a handful of people that kind of influenced me musically and inspired me, if you will.
Victor Wooten once said, "Practice is just convincing yourself that you can do it."
I'm sitting in class and I'm writing a song.
When it comes to me pursuing my passions, one of the main things that comes in the way of that is my duties as a growing adult. I'm 20 years old and I'm a student in college, and I'm committed to being a student in college. And I'm still holding on to my dreams to be creative and not settle for a 9-to-5 if I don't want it. I see people in majors that aren't excited about their majors. They don't want to do the things they're going to do, but they're going to do them because they feel like that's what they're supposed to do. That's the way life works. And I refuse to settle for that. But because that expectation is placed on me, especially at a small private school in Indiana, that's one of the biggest challenges. I have duties. I have to go to school, go to work, hang with friends, and it's all great things, but because of that, my music sometimes has to be put on the back burner, which never feels good because I do feel like for me it's one of the most important parts of my life. I also tend to overcommit. I get involved anywhere I'm at to a degree that's almost too much. I say, hey, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do that, and because of that, I'm overcommitted, but I've already committed, so I have to do those things, and because of that, I have to put music on the back burner again. So I'd say the 2 things are the expectations of my life. I have to be a student, I have to work, I have to build relationships, and my energy and my excitement in getting involved in other things. I'll overcommit to things. I'm about to finish up my sophomore year of college. At the end of this week, I'll be going home to South Carolina, where I'm from, and I plan to spend every day working on music, slaving away at my music. I plan to make an album. This new album is most likely going to be called Freeze Machine. This past school year for me has been really, really rigorous and trying in my emotional and personal world. And I've written a lot of songs out of that experience, a lot of songs I'm proud of, and it's taken me through a whole journey. And for me personally, it's important that I document it through my music. So I'm gonna make this album for myself, regardless of who hears it, how many people hear it. I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna do it the best I can, and I'm not gonna stop until I'm proud of it. So currently, I'm working on an album and probably another EP, but my number one goal right now is to make this album and have it out before the summer's over. Going to school and being a passionate individual, like I like to think of myself as, I just feel like I have a lot of passions, I have a lot of hobbies. It's not natural to find time for your hobbies. Being a passionate person and finding time for your hobbies and passions when in college doesn't come naturally. It takes intentionality, it takes drive, and you have to be passionate about it. I feel like college is a time where people will either capitalize on their passions or they will lose them. And I want to make sure I wouldn't lose them. I want to make sure they would grow even in this time of busy life, finding friends, being with friends, studying. Amongst all that, I want to make sure I'd have time to still build my passions and build my hobbies and my skill sets. So yes, it takes intentionality. It's not easy, but you can find time for them if you carve it out and are disciplined with it. So out of the 4 songs I've released, I feel like Where I Live is probably my favorite at the moment. Where I Live is just a rock song I made, and I feel like it grooves well. It's got a great chorus. Great guitar parts. I'm just really proud of that song. There's also a song on that album called Will I Make It, which is really personal to me. It's not necessarily a banger or something people will listen to all the time, but it means a lot to me, and it was kind of the first song that made me almost cry. I would listen to it and be like, man, this is such a great encapsulation of where I was in this season. And there's something really special about writing a song and making it and listening back to it and being like, yes, like this is exactly where I was at, and it just encapsulates where you were exactly how you wanted it to.
Will I make it? Thousands know my name when I walk.
I feel like the average college student would say, I don't have time for anything except school. And I think it depends on your major. For me personally, I'm a marketing and communications major. It does require studying, it does require hard work, but I still have plenty of time in a day to pour myself into the things I like to do. It just requires a lot of intentionality, and I'm a sophomore in college now, about to finish up my 2nd year. Going in my 3rd year, I have a pattern I feel I've established well. It's all about being intentional. You have to set times for you to do certain things. You have to be driven. You're going to be tired after classes, but if you want to make music or find time for your hobbies, you have to push through your tiredness and do the things you know you love to do and will benefit from.